Hello everyone, welcome to DTBTV. I'm just going to do a video here in regards to, everybody, well, most Liverpool fans that I could see all over social media completely crying their eyes out that Liverpool ain't signing for 100 million and 150 million, 200 and 250 million. With regards to signings, from what I'm hearing and what I'm being told, and from what clearly you can see by the fact we're selling loads of players, is we are actively seeking to sign players. Sorry, they're not coming in immediately, because I know some of you out there think that we're Man City, I always say. But there's a little piece here I'm going to read out, and you'll get the usual FSG out brigade that will just really hope Liverpool sign nobody, and really hope that we don't break no transfer records, and really hope that things look crap and negative, because that's what them FSG out people really want, because they would rather our owners didn't do anything so that they can sit and go, I told you so, typing away on the keyboard, buzzing that we're going into the season in a shit situation, because that will make them feel better, because then they can say, like I just said, I told you so. But there is a lot going on, and what's going on is basically the club has sold Taiwo Wamney £6 million. They've sold Harry Wilson £12 million. They've sold who's the other one? Gruitch, about £11 million. Do you think that this is just all happening just because they just think, oh yeah, let's just sell everybody, let's go into the season, we're not a squad, let's just sell everybody? No. They are strategically reinvesting, which is what you do as a football club. You don't have Sheikh Mansour giving you £200 million to just go and piss away. Yeah, I'm very, very sorry that there's a section of our supporters that think we are Qatar owned, and think we are Dubai owned, and think that we have, a bottomless pit of money, regardless of the fact that we've just gone through a pandemic. Everybody was bedwetting last summer about Chelsea going and spending all that money. Rain check, they finished below us in the league, and that was when we had 22 different centre-backs or centre-back pairings, right? We still finished above Chelsea after they outlaid £250 million last summer, right? There's also this I'm going to read out. While it has frequently been said that Liverpool's transfer plans this summer rely on raising funds through player sales, there is perhaps more pressing issue driving their need to offload. The fact Jurgen Klopp's squad is already at its limits in terms of number is rarely referenced, but it is something that will need to be addressed if he is to further strengthen before the start of the season. With Ibrahim Konate having been signed from Leipzig and Minamino back from a loan stint at Southampton, the Reds now have 17 non-homegrown players on their books, and that is the maximum number permitted by UEFA in the Premier League when naming a squad for the new campaign. As such, if further non-homegrown players are added, then it is vital that more sales are made before the end of the transfer window. There is every possibility of that happening, of course, with Divock Origi and Xherdan Shaqiri the most obvious candidates to exit. However, there are no guarantees that either will depart just yet, meaning Michael Edwards must take on a major test of squad building skills in the weeks ahead. Liverpool sporting director also faces some problems in homegrown players, with the likes of Henderson and Milner among a group of 8 that takes overall squad size to the limit of 25. Movement on that front currently looks closer to the potential departure of homegrown players, though Nat Phillips attracting interest in a number of Premier League clubs, and that could influence decisions on who Liverpool target as they look to strengthen in midfield and up top across the remainder of the window. Recent links to Jared Bowen perhaps came as a surprise, but it's easy to see why the club's recruitment staff might want to bring in another Englishman should Phillips leave to open up a spot. Bolstering Klopp's front line with the signings of West Ham man would leave Edwards needing only to offload Shaqiri or Origi rather than both before the deadline to add a non-homegrown player in midfield, which is what we're trying to do. We are trying to, it's all about, people just think it's throw money, sign in. There's a lot more that goes into it than just that. So Borussia Mönchengladbach's Florent Neuhaus is one of the candidates who is rumoured as a German would need a squad space to be opened up for him. So if we want Neuhaus, we've got to get rid of Origi or Shaqiri first. So everybody crying their eyes out, or everybody that I can see on social media now crying their eyes out, FSG out, there are scummy owners. They can't force people to buy our players. We have to wait until they're bought. And it just annoys me. I know for a fact that these fans see Sancho going to Man United and Varane and going, oh, we're going to lose, Man United are going to win the league. The same people that were crying their eyes out last summer when Chelsea was spending all that money. Do you not have faith in the squad we have? Will we sign some more players? Of course. But at first we've got to get rid of these players. We all knew this. I did videos weeks ago, saying that Grujic would need to be sold, Wilson would need to be sold, Origi would need to be sold, Shaqiri would need to be sold, Oxlade-Chamberlain would need to be sold. We already knew this. It's the same as any football club which runs as a business. FSG are not a country. They are not owned by Sheikh Mansour. He's not, half the money, they've just put the price of pissing oil up next week and they'll get all that money back. And the fact that they've been cheating yet again, and I've just listened to TalkSport now, who said that the judge that lifted the order to make it publicly known that they've been cheating, more or less, the Premier League, by the way, who've been investigating Man City for 2 years, didn't want that news to come out. The Premier League did not want it to come out. That basically, Joey, just stay out there a minute, son. I'm just doing this video. I'll be with you in a minute, son. Just watch your cartoons, yeah?
What's the cartoons?
In there, be in a second, son, yeah? Basically, sorry, I've got my son Joey here. Basically, you know, why would the Premier League not want the news to come out? It's because they don't want to be shamed. Literally, I think the Premier League have had a backhand as well, or if not had a backhand, something. They've been. Why wouldn't they want the news to come out that Manchester City have clearly cheated? They've upped sponsorships, and Sheikh Mansour has made out that Etihad had paid, I think it was a 12 million signing sponsorship deal, and yet they actually only put 3 million up front, Etihad did, and he's banged the 9 million on top of it. So they're cheats. I don't give a shit what anybody. Some little, I can't remember who it was now, just come on my personal Facebook saying stop sticking up for SSG, when my status was that if it was Liverpool that had broke these FFP rules, then the whole country would be trying to take our title off us. Now I don't know what status that is means sticking up for FSG. It's got nothing to do with FSG. I want to back Manchester City cheating, and they clearly have. And it pisses me off how Man City seem to keep getting away with it. I mean, you just said on the radio now, Chelsea were given a transfer ban for doing less than what Man City had done. Why are Man City getting away with it? Oh, I'll tell you why Man City are getting away with it. The same way FIFA got away with it for years. Because they're so bloody rich, they can pay off every single person, i.e. judges, i.e. solicitors or defence attorneys. They can pay off everybody that has got, even the Premier League. If they're crapping themselves now, it's gone public, because that judge apparently, I've just listened to it now on the radio, the judge literally said he finds it really suspicious the fact that the Premier League don't want this to go out as public, and for that reason is the reason why he's giving it, you know, the green light to be put out in the public. 2 years. In that 2 years, let's not forget that Man City have won how many trophies? And it's all right saying, like Sol Campbell's just said now on the radio, oh, it's not the players' fault. Well, hang about. Does that matter if it's not the players' fault? Because at the end of the day, the club is cheating, and if the club is cheating, they should be fined, or not fined, because what's money to them? They should be docked points. Alright, don't take the trophies off them, because maybe it ain't the players' fault. But I tell you what, Pep Guardiola always seems to be a sneaky little rat as well. Every time he has a press conference, he knows. He knows what's going on at that club. You can see how sheepish he looks every time that he's asked the question about whether they're cheating or not. They're cheating. I don't give a shit what anybody says. They've been doing it now for 2 or 3 seasons, right? And they're going to continue doing it. Do you know what annoys me? Jurgen Klopp and them players should be on a trail now of trophies. They should be cleaning up everything like Ferguson did with United. We're being denied, not by a great team like Man United were, we're being denied by a bunch of plastic cheats that are scamming millions here and there, giving out free fake tickets to get their ground filled. Even at Wembley, they couldn't even sell out their away end or their end because because they're such a false club. You know, and it just annoys me. Nobody seems to be kicking up. All our fans are getting pissed off with is our owners. Oh, we're not Man City. Why don't you just get some of your energy and your arguments out against the fact that we're trying to compete with people that are literally not even playing a fair game? So whilst they're under investigation for financial fair play, they're now trying to spend 250 million on Grealish and Harry Kane. I mean, it just gets even worse. And why are we all accepting it? We shouldn't be accepting it. That club should be booed at every ground next season because they're not actually sort of even giving it anyone a fair chance. You know, 400 grand a week for players, 250 million pound for 2 players, and this is with no outgoing sales. They haven't had to sell anybody. They bought Mangala for 30 million and loaned him out. It just pisses me off, and it pisses me off that our fans are so busy trying to hate our owners when they should be angered and more angry at Man City cheating than they are about FSG. We are, and I'm going to bloody put my neck on the line now, we are going to sign 2 more players. We're going to sign another central midfielder, probably about 40-50 million pound one, probably 50 million easily, because we've made 30 million in sales, so FSG have only really got to put 20 million to it and what we've already earned in sales. And we will sign a centre forward. I will stick my neck on the line and say we're bringing a centre midfielder and a striker before the window ends. And that's what's getting my back up. All you see on Twitter now and social media is FSG out. Not Man City grief. They're getting away with it again. Not even the public are turning on them. You know why? Because it's not Liverpool. If it was Liverpool, you'd have Leeds fans, Man United fans, everybody, Tottenham, Arsenal, all demanding that we are stripped of our league title, just like they were all trying to get the league null and voided when we were going to win the league because they hate us. But Man City get away with it. Oh, why is that? Because Man City ain't really a big club. They're a plastic club funded by oil, and that's all I'm going to say about it. You'll never walk alone.